Hello, everyone. This is Lorii Abela, your soulmate expert here in Chicago, and we are so happy because we have a special guest from California, and she is known as Miss Patricia DeJoseph, and she's psychic international author and life coach. So let's all welcome Miss Patricia. Hello, Patricia. How are you?
Hi. Well, I feel so honored and privileged to be on with you. I really thank you for the opportunity, and I'm definitely looking forward to what we can produce with this. It's very exciting.
Okay. So, as I have mentioned to everybody, you're psychic and a life coach. So, can you tell everybody and elaborate more what exactly are you specializing on?
Yes, I would love to. Well, first of all, I've been doing this work for almost 40 years. I do it practically 24/7. I usually work 7 days a week, believe it or not, because my heart is totally into helping people on all levels. I've dealt with uh, every area I think you could come up with worldwide. But I have worked quite a bit in your area with love relationships,
Mm-hmm.
both in showing people how through affirmations and visualization and meditation that we can draw in and attract the best partner for us, our soulmate as some term it. I also have worked a lot with working through relationships that have hit some little glitches along the way, and they're really trying to get things more on track and working better with each other. So I have worked with love relationships, both coming in and going out, people that are going through a divorce or want to get a divorce. I've also done a lot in guiding people in that direction. But what I put out most of all is that each and every one of us has psychic ability. We don't always trust it. We don't always understand it. We have many terms for it, like our sixth sense, our intuition, our gut feeling, but we are all gifted with it. But usually as we grow up, we learn less and less to not trust it fully. And just like our physical muscles, if we don't exercise them regularly, they begin to atrophy. So one of my first areas of working with people is to help them to understand how trusting that voice within, which is the God source communicating with us, that we can work with our own intuition in helping us to guide us to making the best possible choices.
Yeah, those are all sounding good. So, Patricia, can you tell us, my audience, you already know, are single people who are looking for their soulmate. So, what are the best images to visualize in order to manifest a soulmate?
Well, I think I'm a really terrific example of that, uh, following my own advice. I will tell everybody I'm now 70 years old. I lost my husband in 2002 and wasn't really into dating for quite a while because I was there for my family. But now my grandchildren are pretty well grown. So I started putting out the affirmation, I am receiving so much love today.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly was overwhelmed by the power of that because not only did I find someone I have fallen in love with and has asked me to marry him, we're getting married in November,
Woohoo.
but I will say I was on Facebook for over a year, did it totally just on a professional level to get myself more out there, people acquainted with my work. But in the last month since I started doing this affirmation, I have had 10 offers of marriage.
Oh my
I
God!
have a list of about 40 guys now that around the world that have come asking to get into a relationship with me. So it has been like the 4th of July. It's this major celebration. And it has been a little overwhelming even for me. So I think that's such a powerful, simple affirmation that everyone can put out. And it not only works with actually relationship itself and attracting our soulmate. But I think it also is so powerful in affecting our friendships, our workplace, the people that we're surrounded with, because when we're putting out that idea of receiving all this love in, it always goes around full circle. So what we give out comes into us, and what comes from outside then goes back out again. So it always is a circular energy where we're helping others and helping ourselves. So I think it's a really powerful affirmation. And I always tell people that it's important to use key words. It's not so much a matter of like having to say a whole paragraph or making something really complicated. It's using power words like magnetic or magnet. Another favorite of mine is I'm a success magnet, or I am a miracle magnet. I love the word miracle because it's so empowering. It makes us think of things far beyond what we would normally expect. And so we stretch ourselves higher and in a grander fashion by putting out that kind of word. Magical, amazing, all those are key words that really impact our thinking beyond the box, so to speak.
Wow, those are so much great, powerful things that you're sharing with us. I cannot believe, they're actually working. So, what you call that? I know that you have actually wrote a book. I'd like to go in that particular section that you probably can share us your current projects because this sounds very interesting.
I am. I had one impairment or handicap, but and it has slowed things down a little, and that is my blood pressure medication affected my vision. And for a while, I kind of did what a lot of people do, sat there and felt sorry for myself and thought, why me? And that it really was slowing down my work. But I have this wonderful client who had never met me in Washington who made the statement, when God takes one thing away, he compensates with another. And I think he heightened your psychic ability even more than it was originally. And I thought that was such a beautiful thing to share. I had stopped writing because of this challenge. And since she said that, I have gone back to it. I've just found other ways of working through my problem. But the interesting thing was on my radio show, I put that story out there, and I had this man call in, and he said, I really want to thank you for what you just gave to your audience, and I can personally validate that because I'm blind. And yet he runs several businesses. He called me later for an hour-long session, psychic session, and that was about a month and a half ago, and I'm very proud to say he called on my show this last Monday and told me everything I had told him was accurate, and he was very, very happy with the reading, and he wanted to thank me for what I give to everyone. So that really touched me immensely. So as far as my books are concerned, I've written all inspirational, motivational books. My first book was called Miracles Made Simple, and it was about creating miracles through the tools that I discussed with you of working with such things as affirmation, meditation, even the energy around us, because we're energy in motion, and so we're affected by the energy we come in contact with. So working with the energy of colors and the energy of sound, music can be so effective. The energy of crystals. So my first book was a little more on a psychic level, where I talked about how I had developed my own psychic ability and how I had used that to teach others in how they could work with it, and also work with these tools to create happy, positive changes in their lives. My second book, I realized that there are people that have a misconception of what psychic ability is. Unfortunately, uh, our image is somewhat tainted at times by fortune telling, which is psychic ability, but the misuse of it and trying to take advantage of other people. And so I wanted to put something out there that anybody at any age could relate to. And I call it Remember to Hug, because I think it's so important for us to realize that sometimes a simple thing like a hug or acknowledging someone and saying hello and smiling at them can totally change someone's day for the better. And the interesting part of that book was it came out I was just finishing it when Hurricane Katrina hit. And I ended up changing the last chapter to the first because I talked about having had all the devastation of Hurricane Katrina, how we could look at how blessed we are to have a roof over our heads, to have a kitchen we can cook in, to have a bed to sleep in. The simple things we take for granted that many people lose, and we don't realize until we don't have them just how blessed we really are. So I am very proud to say I sent a copy of that book to who was then President George Bush, and he acknowledged my book. I have a beautiful letter of thank you from him I'm very proud of. So my third book was on discovering angels and miracles. And I think it's important for everyone to realize that we do have angels around us, both in angels God has given to watch over us, but also our loved ones who have crossed over to the other side and then become our angels in helping us to guide us through our choices and give us pointing arrows. My husband's been really great in that direction. He pops up with some of the most amazing surprises that I call God winks. There's a wonderful book out by Squire Rushnell called God Winks, and it's about those little pointing arrows we see, like a license plate we might notice, or a billboard, or something on TV, or some words that a friend says to us just when we're thinking of how do we answer this problem, or what direction should we take, and then we see something that gives us the answer. And my husband was always really great, and still is, of putting out signs to let me know that he's really helping to guide me. As a matter of fact, one of his most favorite is when I'm really needing some confirmation, I will somehow get a pink rose.
Wow.
We did a bond when he and I were, I did a psychic party for Century 21. There were 12 women that attended, and I did reading for all of them. When I got to the very last one, she really didn't want a reading, but she didn't want to be the oddball, so she put up mental blocks hoping I wouldn't get through. And the reason she was doing that was because her husband, just 6 months before, had died of cancer. And every time he honored an anniversary, birthday, whatever, he would always give her a single rose. And even on his deathbed, and she walked in shortly before he died, he asked one of the nurses to wrap a glycerin swab with a pink Kleenex around it. And he said, always remember, honey, that I am with you, and no matter what, I still love you.
Wow.
And so I shared that story with my husband, and being the boastful Italian he was, he always had to outdo the next guy. So he said to me, whichever of us goes the other side first, send 3 pink roses as a message.
Wow.
And every time something comes up, I get 3 pink roses.
Oh my God.
It's awesome.
Unbelievable. So, Patricia, so how can people find you?
They can find me, well, first of all, the easiest way is giving me a call. My
Mm-hmm.
number is 760-578-6929.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a personal page on Facebook, a business page.
Mm-hmm.
So simply go to my name at facebook.com and you can find me there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also on Twitter and LinkedIn. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say the best thing is to give me a call and we can go from there.
Oh.
I'm always available. I have clients that call me from all over the world. I've even had somebody call me from Machu Picchu, places like Lebanon. And that's the neat thing about my radio show is anyone with a computer can access it. So I've had these amazing calls from Malaysia and Iceland and places I never thought my work would reach. So I am very thankful and blessed, and this is the most rewarding work I can possibly describe to you. And any way I can help people, I am here to do that. But I really want everyone to realize how powerful their own thinking is, what we believe we can see. So I'm going to believe this is my final message.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever thoughts we put out there, even the small little ones,
Mm-hmm.
have an impact not only on us but those around us. So I want your audience to realize that thing. I hope so, or maybe, or I don't know if that could work. All those put up roadblocks. Whenever we put out anything that isn't a completely positive statement, we're creating negative energy, and that blocks and impedes what we really want to attract. So be your own police officer, police your thoughts, and keep them very positive. And I guarantee you will have magical, miracle results.
That's awesome. So there you have it, folks. We had Patricia DeJoseph, and I'll see you again. This is Lorii from howcanyouFindlove.com. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.